Yo, what's good? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this just in, actor from the I think it's from the show Ghost, uh, Michael Rainey Jr. was apparently somewhere. I guess it was a party or some type of it was some type of gathering, something like that. They were on the internet and things like that, and I think they was on Twitch or something like that. But yeah, though he ends up getting touched in strange places by I guess one of his friends' little sisters or maybe big sister or something like that. But this just this just comes to show the double standards of way things go when we have individuals that are, of opposite sex that do the same type of egregious things. Now, if this had been a reverse factor, we all know what will be going on here. There will be bar doors slamming. Okay, let's just keep this real. No, you can't make this shit up out here. Can't make this shit up. So, all right, what we're gonna do here now? We're gonna dive off into this news segment right here of Fox 26, and let's hear what they are having to say about what this young man is dealing with. Hey, listen, look, protect all men out there. Protect all men. Let's put these quarters, nickels, and dimes in on the times.
And thank you for staying up late with us. We have a great program planned for you and some great guests tonight here on The Factor Uncensored. Let's get right down to business. This is an important reminder tonight. Men can also be victims of sexual assault, in case you didn't know. An actor says he's still processing what happened to him after a woman grabbed him inappropriately on a live stream. This happened Sunday on a Twitch live stream for an influencer named Ty Ty Jones. Actor Michael Rainey Jr., who is from Power, can be seen in the background when a woman,
Okay, Power, my fault.
who has been identified as James' sister, walks up to him and appears to grab him by the private area. You can see it on Rainey's face. He looked very uncomfortable by the encounter. Today, he released a statement saying he's in shock.
Okay, before we go off into the statement part, I would like to say this, and hold on, I'm gonna go back just a bit here. To see the uncomfortableness on this young man's face. Obviously, of course, he wasn't there for that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. We don't know about what this young man's into, things like that, his love life, personal life, which he needs to keep that out. He needs to keep that private in the first damn place. He really does. Now, another thing too is that for this young lady, or however old she is, we don't know, for her to go up and just do something like that while they're also live, they're streaming live on the internet, on Twitch, and she just goes up and goes to grabbing him and stuff like that, doing something that if the roles were reversed, man, oh my goodness. Listen, look here. If the roles were reversed, it will be 5-0 on the way. It'll be all types of crazy shit going on out here. Y'all know this is the truth. You know it's the truth. And this is sad right here. See, this is the double standard shit that we talk about as men right here. Because at the end of the day, this young man did not want to be grabbed like that. And to do all that in front of these children right here, that puts you in the mind frame of what the hell what type of person she is. So you just gonna grab a grown man like that in front of a bunch of babies out here. Like, come on, man. Come on, people.
Today, he released a statement saying he's in shock and that, quote, sexual assault is never okay regardless of gender or status. We're all human and we should respect each other. Most importantly, we should respect ourselves. Joining us to talk about it, trauma therapist Chow Nguyen. So, Chow, when you took a look at that video, what went through your mind?
Well, the reaction on his face, the disbelief, and the freezing, that's considered a trauma response. We either fight, flight, freeze, we fawn, and it looked like he was freezing. He didn't know what to do.
Well, of course he could. It's nothing. What could he have done in that situation? Well, he was going to push her off him or something. So I'm guessing the dude that's actually the that owns the live stream, the Tay guy, or whatever. That was his sister. So what was he supposed to do? I guess he was there to get interviewed by the young man on the Twitch channel. What was he supposed to do at that moment? What was he supposed to push her off? Be like, stop touching me. I mean, what was a man supposed to do in a situation like that in a room full of people, other men, young children, which shouldn't have been there, and her? What do you push her off so everybody around him could call him gay? I mean, because that's what would have happened. That's what would have happened.
God, you can't make this shit up.
Can't make this shit up. Yeah.
He was touched inappropriately. That is sexual violence. And men are victimized by sexual violence as well. 1 in 4, they say, in their lifetime. It's a spectrum. It can be anything from touching to penetration.
And so how do you make the public and people in general take that seriously? Because you think of a male, you should be able to handle it. You should be able to walk away or confront the person and say, don't do it again. But there should be
recourse. There should be accountability. Look, when a man is touched inappropriately, and we live in a culture that says men have to man up, and there's this issue that men should be the strong one, it creates a lot of shame and stigma. A lot of men don't even speak up about being sexually violated or a victim of sexual violence because of the cultural stigma and shame around the message that, oh, if you're going to be sexually assaulted as a man, it's okay because you're a man, or you should have spoken out or gotten tough. I mean, we do see these cases. Men are victims of violence. They do come forward. And when they come forward, they often say, are you sure I can talk about it? Are you sure I can address it? Because they're embarrassed. They don't know what to say. They freeze.
And when you have a case like this, when initially the one who held the live stream online, he was like, what's the big deal? Obviously, it was his sister. What's the big deal? I don't see what the problem is. He walked that back later and said he would never condone anything like that. And a lot of people are like, what's the big deal?
What's the big?
Also, the big deal is she doing it in front of children.
You'll thank me in the morning.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
In front of children.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Come on, people. Come on, people. She had no respect for nobody in that damn room. In front of children, her brother even, and his other friends. Like, come on, man. She ain't got no respect for herself nor anybody else.
Big deal. What's a big deal is somebody touched somebody else without his consent. We have to do a better job of talking about consent, right? This is my body, this is your body. You're not allowed to touch it without my permission. And it's unfortunate that his initial reaction was, what's the big deal? That is, to me, an imprint, a reflection on sort of the cultural stereotypes when it comes to men and women and sexual violence.
And of course, you have that double standard there, because people would have been up in arms if it was a female, if she was grabbed in a private area like that.
If she was a female, if that was a female that was grabbed, we're probably going to bring the police in. Here we're talking about it, and I'm glad you're giving people a platform to talk about it. But you're right, the standards are not the same. They're not equal. She might have been, the police might have called, there was an investigation here. It's like, and the poor actor, what did he say? I'm still processing it. He's still in shock. He froze. And he might have to suffer the ramifications because it went so public. I mean, listen, the aftermath of sexual violence is the same for men and women. PTSD, anxiety, depression, avoiding places, flashbacks, nightmares. Can you imagine having to live with a lifetime of that? If you're a man, it doesn't matter.
And do we think the definition matches the term? I think a lot of people lose it there, because if you just touch someone, then you say that's sexual assault.
Right.
And I said just, but if
Yes.
you touch someone, they'll say that's sexual assault. When I think of sexual assault, and when many of us think of sexual assault, and you hear it, you think of rape or something like
Right.
that, not touching someone.
That
Do you
is
think that's part of the problem?
It is, and this is an opportunity to continue to educate people about sexual assault. It's a spectrum. It starts with touching, it ends at rape, and anybody can be a victim of sexual assault. Sexual violence is an act that is performed without your consent.
And is it part of our problem as men who say, look, you should be able to handle that,
Yeah.
Chin up?
It is the cultural stereotype of masculinity and what we call toxic masculinity. Man up, do this. We've got to do a better job of talking about this at a very young age, talking about healthy behaviors and how we treat each other. Like that actor said, just as human beings, equal respect.
And a lot of fathers and mothers have this conversation with their daughters. Do you think it's something that now should include their sons?
It should have included their sons long ago.
But we know historically it has not.
It hasn't, and it continues to not. But we've got to talk to girls, just as we talk to girls about taking care of their bodies and protecting their bodies, we have to talk to boys about the same thing, because by and large, it's happening.
Now, if you're caught in a situation like this, child, that we saw Michael Rainey in this incident, how would you handle that if you were Michael Rainey?
I think he handled it the best he can, which is being forthcoming.
Once you have your bearings, put it that way, and you're not shocked anymore.
Right.
That person is still there, still being aggressive. How would you handle that?
Oh, to say no, you mean, in that moment? He froze. It's a trauma response. That's what his limbic system went into. He didn't do anything wrong. He did come back and say, look, it's wrong. I'm not sure if he could have done anything more than he did. He was just shocked. And we see that very often.
Right. He couldn't have done anything more. Couldn't have done anything more, because if he had pushed her too strongly, he would have got jumped up in that room by them boys. Real talk.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I don't. If he had pushed her off too strongly or something like that, or did anything to where the role had to instantly reversed because he had at that point hit her, oh man, he would have got beat. He would have got jumped down in that room right there with all them, her brother and all that would have instantly turned on him. It would have been a catastrophe up in that room. And I don't want to hear nobody say nothing different, because I know I'm telling the truth. I know I'm telling the truth because I know how ninjas think out here. It's crazy. All good in the hood until some bullshit go down. For real though.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
All good in the hood till some bullshit go down. But real talk, I really hate this for this young man that he that actually, this situation went down like this, and then for it to go public like this, and it had no choice but to go public because it was being streamed live. Somebody recorded that and sent it out, that he was actually getting touched like that in a room full of people, other young men, and also children, by this woman. I guess I don't know how old she is, like I said, but nah, man, this is ridiculous right here, man. Hey, listen, look, man, we got to start protecting these young men too. A lot of these young men don't want to be touched by you broads out here. They don't want to be touched by you broads. And that don't mean that the man gay because he don't want to be touched by you. Bitch, he just may not be sexually attracted to your monkey ass. For real, though. Let's just keep that 100 out here, too.
God damn it. You can't make this shit up.
That's one thing that don't get talked about a lot. A lot of young men, say, yeah, they got sexual preferences, too. He probably wasn't sexually attracted to that broad. Like, seriously. I mean, shit, man. Come on, man. It's a lot that can be talked about in this situation, and it's a lot of this goes on, off of it that hadn't been, put on camera and stuff like this to young men. I guarantee you, it's happened to a lot of young men. We, of course, like I said though, we don't talk about this stuff a lot. We don't, because you're supposed to man up, or if you don't man up, then you must don't like women and all this other type of dumbass shit and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not that a motherfucker don't like women. I just don't like that particular chick right there. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to deal with some bat, you know what I'm saying, just because she's a woman. That bitch breath stink out here. Get that fucking hoe away from me and shit. But it is what it is, though, man. Hey, shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure that you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line. Mad love to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Please comment. My link to my X, TikTok, and my email are down below. And I always show the bottom line news some love. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.
Who responsible for all these hoes in the street? You?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Hey, this the chick right here that was grabbing on Young Michael.
Had no sex!
Katie, what are you doing? And she's like, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do.